So I was teaching a composition class the other day and I got into a fight, into an argument with a composition teacher at a university, at a college. I was invited to teach music composition into a New York film school. I won't say the name because of what I'm going to say later on, but this one here. I'm very grateful that I was invited to teach there and it was a lot of fun. So the students there are students who are there to learn how to do movies, and they took that elective class on music composition, and I was there to teach one of the classes. I was invited. It was on Zoom. I had 2 hours and they had some basic knowledge. They knew what Logic was, what Cubase was, they knew how to use it a little bit, and they had the basic knowledge of music theory, but they haven't composed a piece of music in their entire life. So I knew that in order to keep them interested for 2 hours, I had to hook them at the beginning, and I said, at the end of this class, you'll be able to compose and produce a piece of music in 4 different styles: action, tension, positive, and negative emotions. And this is roughly 50% of everything that you need to know to be able to compose your own music for your own movies. The teacher went mad. It's like, how come you say that? It takes a lifetime to learn music composition. And I said, I know, but that is because they haven't had me as a teacher. Not a good way to start. But I continue to say, yes, it does take a lifetime to master music composition, but it's not that hard to get started if you get rid of all the fluff and go straight to the meaningful things that make a difference. So at that point, I had them like, all right, give it to me. And I said, all right, so these are the 5 things that you have to learn to be able to start composing orchestral music right away. And these are the things that I'm gonna share with you today. Obviously, I'm not gonna go for 2 hours. I'm gonna try and keep it as simplified as possible. And then there are other videos where I'll develop them. But here we go. All right, so they can say whatever they want. But I've been teaching music for more than 10 years. I started at Berkeley, then cinematic composing. We've got more than 9,000 students. I've done movies that have gone to Amazon and Netflix. Here, see? All right, it's not much, but I've taught a lot of composers and I know, these are the 5 things. By the way, they're super easy to learn. And on top of those 5, there's a 6th element that makes all the difference. I'll explain that at the end. That 6th one takes a little bit longer to develop, but you don't need it right now. With just the 5 minutes at once, more than enough to get you started. All right, uno, the 5 musical forces. That was effective. I'll have that at each one of these 5, so it's kind of like, okay, the 5 musical, let's keep it even more simple, the 3 musical forces, all right? Before we start even talking about harmony, orchestration, melody, any of that, think music this way: direction, movement, background. These 3 musical forces. Direction. What is direction? Direction is anything that musically moves us from point A to point B. It can be a melody or it can be a crescendo. It can be a glissando, it can be an accelerando. It's anything that emotionally moves us from one place to another. Think emotion, all right? The second force is movement, and movement is the motor of the music. It is what moves the music forward, okay? It can be an ostinato, it can be a percussion bed. Think intensity. And the third musical force is background. And background is background. Sometimes we need it, sometimes we don't. But it is the most subtle musical force and sometimes makes the biggest difference. Think this is a subconscious part of the music, and here's where oftentimes composers have most fun. All right, pretty cool. There are a couple more forces, but these are the main 3 ones. Okay, let's move forward. The second thing, film music cliches. You can call it film music cliches or music cliches. And here's where I usually get the cliches. Really? And I'm usually like, can you mimic that style? Can you even write music that actually works with that specific scene? No, I'm much sophisticated than that. I've got my own voice. Here's the thing. There are 2 reasons why you have to learn cliches. No, 3 reasons. The first one, it's a lot of fun. All of a sudden you are like, man, my music sounds like the soundtracks that I love. That's awesome when you start learning those cliches. Second, this is for those who want to pursue a career as a composer. There are many ways of making a living as a composer, but one of the ways is you writing the music for media and someone pays you to write that music. Now, they'll expect from you to be able to write music that resembles what they already have in mind. sonically or musically. So you do have to be able to compose music in that specific style or to be able to recreate that sonic space or sonic emotion. And the third thing why you have to learn clichés is because it's the fastest way to learn music composition. And here's what I mean. You can learn all the music theory that you want, but you still have no idea how to combine these elements, the type of harmonies, type of melody, orchestration, to recreate a specific sound or style or emotion. Very simply put, there are a specific set of rules that when you combine these elements in a very specific way, then you will get that sound or that style that will sound like tension or action or supernatural ground there or whatever. And once you master them, then you can spice them with your own voice, and then is when they are gonna love you. I mean, your clients, because they will feel at home because it sounds like what they expect it to sound, but at the same time, it's unique because it's your unique voice, and they're gonna love it even more because it's making their project unique. But think any major composer that you love in Hollywood or outside Hollywood, there are certain conventions for different media and different styles and different genres. There are still certain conventions. What people, your fans, will or your clients will admire from you is your ability to take that thing, that's something that feels familiar to them, and elevate it and bring it up a notch by adding your own voice and creating something new. Alright, let's move on because this video is already long enough. The third thing that you gotta have is the template. You gotta have a set of tracks loaded already so you don't have to load them all the time every time that you start composing, so you can move fast. That doesn't mean that you need 1,000 tracks template. You can start with 16 tracks and you can do a lot of damage. I've proved this in this channel already a few times. Fourth thing, no need reverb for this one, but basically is a mentor or a friend that can guide you or that can help you when you are stuck. You will get stuck. That's just life. It's just life. My biggest growth as a composer, two things. First, practice makes perfect. And second is having a group of people that can help you. It's like, dude, I'm stuck here. Can you help me? And they'll give me advice, or they'll listen to my music and let me know if it sucks. Or I can listen to their music and get inspired. It's a group of friends or connections that keep you inspired and then help you grow. That will accelerate your success like nothing else, because it's like a mastermind. 5 people will grow together faster than you by yourself, because you have to solve many problems. If you divide those problems by 5, each one of them will solve their problems, then you share them, you grow together. All right, we are almost there. 5, the fifth thing, all right? The most important one is the 3 egos. And this is very important because it can kill everything else. You can know everything, and still, if you're not focusing on the right thing, you can write music that doesn't work for the thing that you're trying to do. Here's what I mean. There are 3 types of egos: internal ego, external ego, and the bigger ego. The internal ego, wait a minute, Mark. What are you talking about, the 3 egos? What? I'm talking about understanding why you write the music that you write. Because at the end of the day, when you are composing it's a series of decisions that you are taking like, should I write this note or this no, this chord or this other chord, this instrument or this other instrument? It's decisions that you are taking. A series of good decisions, masterpiece. One wrong decision, it can break your entire composition. And so basically everything comes down to, why am I writing this? All right? And so it responds to these 3 egos. The first one is the internal ego. It's the one that says, I am going to write the best piece of music that I've ever written to prove myself worthy. So I'm like, oh man, how good I am. We've all been there. And sometimes it's good, pushes you forward. But this leads to analysis paralysis and procrastination, because we make things more complex than they have to be, and complexity leads to procrastination. The second ego is the external ego. And this is the, I'm gonna prove, not myself, but everyone else, how awesome I am. This usually leads to overwriting things. And honestly, the only thing that proves, and we've all been there, is that you're an insecure composer, at least in that moment, and capable of writing music that truly emerges from within you. That was a solid line. ¿Te ha gustado, mamá? ¿No me has escuchado? No. No me escuchan. Me cago en la hostia. But then there's the third ego, the bigger ego. Have to find a better name for this one. But basically answers the question of why. Why am I writing this music? What is this music for? What is the purpose of this music? And it simplifies the process a lot and puts you in a position of serving and giving to something else that's bigger than you and your music. I'm writing music for this scene. What do I need to do? Well, I need to elevate this specific emotional blah blah blah, and then I'll do this and that because that's exactly what I need to do, right? Instead of I'm gonna prove myself or I'm gonna prove someone else how. No, it's just serving that scene or that movie or that video game. That's basically it. And ultimately here, if done the right way, it still gets recognized. So if you're here for your personal ego or your personal ego is an important part, it will still get reinforced. And that's it. These are the 5 elements. The 6th one is the one that I mentioned earlier of spicing it up with your own voice. But if you put all these together and put them to practice, it does not take a lot of time to be able to write what I call media ready music or soundtrack ready music, meaning music that sounds good with good production, that sounds like the pros, that truly elevates whatever medium you've written the music for, or that truly evokes that emotion that you intended. Basically, it's just music that works. That's what I mean, or the music that you feel proud of, or music that you can use to as a demo reel to find projects. Now, how long did it take me to explain these 5 concepts? 55 minutes. Well, that's what, like 7 minutes once this is edited. What? Do you think I speak fluently like this? No, I look much dumber. I repeat 5 or 10 times each phrase till I get the good one. Anyway, it took me like maybe 7 edited minutes to share this with you. Most of you are gonna jump to the next YouTube video and do nothing about it. Don't feel bad. I do the same thing. You could know everything and still not do anything about it, right? That is why we've put together a 6 months program just for 20 composers to work directly with me. It's literally a guided system that gets you to take action to gain momentum. In fact, the name of the program is Momentum. This thing is a procrastinator killer. You learn by practicing while having fun with a group of 20 composers like you, each one with their own strengths and specialties. Some of them are good at orchestration, others at syncestration. Some of them have a more orchestral style, others more hybrid, more specialized in video games or movies, films, and we all collaborate together, sort of like a mastermind to take our music above and beyond. And you will end the program with a demo reel with several tracks in different styles that you will feel proud of and that you can use to start finding projects and to start working in the professional world. Still with me? Awesome! Because when you finish the program, you don't have just a demo reel. You have the skills to write music that perfectly matches that scene of that movie or that video game or that documentary. Alright, this is the end. Thanks for watching till the end. You are the best. If you're interested, link below for the application, fill it up, and then let's have a Zoom call to see if you are a good fit for the program. The class starts soon. Thanks again for watching till the end. I'll see you in the next one.